And this is Miss Chess coming to you on Voluptuous TV. I have the pleasure of being here with one of my favorite Hollywood exes, Mrs. Andrea Kelly. How are you?
I'm good, beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing great, and your show was so fabulous here in St. Louis at the Dow House Studios. Please tell us about that.
Well, I started La Pink Kitty as a dance fitness regime for women. I'm a dancer. I've been formally trained since 3 years old. I'm trained in ballet, jazz, modern, African. I do belly dancing. And people would ask me all the time, your body is so cut. What do you do? Are you a personal trainer? Do you lift weights? And I tell them all I do is dance. And they were like, there's no way you get that body from dancing. So I said, you know what? Let me start a class for women to teach them how to get the long, lean, sculpted muscles that dancers have, but making it fun and making it sexy. So I created this fitness regime so that women can use the moves that they're doing here to get fit. Honey, you take to the bedroom, honey. Yes, it does not have to stay in the studio.
That is absolutely correct. I was just saying to you that I would have no problem with having a man with the moves that you demonstrated tonight.
Yes. You know what? I believe that women, the way we feel about our bodies has a lot to do with our sexuality. If I'm not comfortable in my skin, I don't care how many garter belts you buy me. I don't care how much lingerie you buy me. I'm never going to put it on because I don't feel sexy in my skin. So what better way than to teach it in a dance studio? It forces you to look in the mirror. It forces you to look at your body. But you start to see results much faster because as a dancer, I'm using every muscle from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I'm compressing my abs, so you'll start to see your six-pack coming in and just walking in heels. Some women, they just assume because we were born female, we weren't coming out the womb with high heels on our feet. Nobody ever sits down and teaches women the correct way to even walk in heels. People just assume because you're a woman, you should know that. Why? We don't. So I'm like, let me start a class where women are even comfortable being in heels. Then once you're comfortable in the heels, I can get you dancing. If I can get you dancing, I can get you twirling and kicking and everything else. And then your confidence builds, and as your confidence builds, you feel sexier.
I have to say you do a fabulous job, and you make it look so very easy.
It's work, girl. It's work, because that baby head and drew up, honey. And yes, I said drew. That baby head and drew up. It's no joke. You are sweating, but you know what? It's a sexy workout. You don't even realize you're doing crunches, you're doing squats, you're doing leg lifts, but I just did it the way that dancers do it, and I did it to sexy music. So you're so in the moment of being a goddess that you don't realize, hold on, I'm doing sit-ups, I'm doing crunches, I'm doing leg lifts. And I think a lot of times when you go to the gym, it's just overkill. It's machines and people, and they looking, and it feels like a meat market. You want to go somewhere where I feel feminine, I feel sexy, I can be a woman, that I'm not being objectified. And by this being an all-women's class, I tell women, I've seen some with hips. I'm like, God, you was playing in the hip department. For real, where am I? So I see beauty in everything. Women that take my class, they have full busts, small busts, big booties, little booties, but it's about what's sexy for you. And once you're comfortable in that skin, it don't matter what nobody, it don't even matter what a man say. Honey, you sexy by yourself out the shower. Like, what? Yes, let me lotion up. So I want women to walk away with that, and I think they do in this class.
Please offer some advice to women who may be hesitant about dancing and feeling very inhibited.
You know what? The thing is, you have to go to that inner sexy for you. We have been so brainwashed as women to believe somebody told us what sexy is. That's not true. When you go to other countries, the fuller you are, the more sexy you are. The saggier your breasts are in some part of Africa, that's a sign of being fertile, that you can have children. But we have been so objectified in America that if you're stick thin with big boobs, that's beautiful. And that's not necessarily so, because I've seen very skinny women who are very unhealthy. They have eating disorders. They're anorexic, they're bulimic, just like I've seen very full-figured women who are very unhealthy, high cholesterol, not eating the right food. So just because you're thin isn't healthy, and just because you're heavy set doesn't mean you're unhealthy. So you have to get into your body and say, you know what, for me to say that I'm not happy with this body, I think if God was sitting right here, we wouldn't tell him you made a mistake and you didn't know what you were doing. So every day I want women to think that way. When I look in the mirror and say to myself, I don't like what I see, if God was sitting there, would you tell him he made a mistake on what he made? He made you divinely. You are one you. There are no more you. You were the prototype, and that is it. So celebrate that. And know, God took time on you, honey. We take a lot of time on something we make one of. He didn't have a machine to say 5 Dreas, knock them out. He sat down and was like, I'm going to give her a booty. I'm going to give her hips. I'm going to give her these lips. So celebrate that you are unique and divine, honey. Once you get that, it's a wrap.
Now, will we see more of your uniqueness on the second season of Hollywood Exes?
Girl, yes, I cut a food. Yes, I do. I am Drea. That's all I know how to be. I'm a South Side girl. I'm from Chicago. It's real, and I understand everybody's not going to like me, but what I can live with at night is everyone will respect, whether she's on TV or in person. Drea Kelly is always the same.
I appreciate you, and thank you so much. This is why we love Miss Andrea Kelly.